me to the moon, let me play amongst the stars. Let me see what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars. In other words, hold my hand. In other words, baby, kiss me. Fill my heart with song. Fly me to the moon, fly me to Michigan, fly me wherever. I'm a traveling guy, but today we're flying to the moon with Mr. Frank Sinatra. Jazz standard, a lot of people have sang it. You can sing this in any key that you're comfortable with, but I listened to the Frank Sinatra version, okay? So I was listening to Frank, played it like Frank. Feel free to modify it. That's what's cool about jazz standards, is you can tweak them to make them yours. Patreon.com, become a Patreon. For as little as $1 a month, you get support, all right? For example, our Patreons today will get a full printable song sheet for this so they can print it out and sing along with it. $1 a month. You help us grow. It's a tip jar that just gives back. All right, Skype lessons too if you want more one-on-one. New songs here Wednesday and Saturday. But if you came just because you want to fly to the moon on your ukulele, that's cool. I dig it and I respect it. I want you to grab your ukulele brain attention span, follow me on in, and let's break this lesson down right now. All right, Fly Me to the Moon by Mr. Frank Sinatra. Frank Sinatra, this is the version that I was listening to, right? There's a lot of people that have played this song. It's a jazz standard, so it's room for interpretation. You can play this, you can make this a little longer, you can change this up. But I was listening to Frank, so I'm gonna teach you how to play it like Frank does, and then after that, feel free to change the key. Lower the tone, higher the tone, whatever you really want. You're gonna need an A minor. You could do an A minor 7 if you wanted. In the harmony, I hear an A minor 7, but I think it sounds a little better if not all the strings are open, so we'll play an A minor. You need a D minor 7. If that D minor 7 is difficult for you, you could play a D minor, it would work. A G7, C major 7, C7, F major 7, E7, A7, lots of 7s going on, E minor 7, B minor 7. Alright, if you didn't memorize, oh, and an E flat diminished, which would be right here. Okay, so if you didn't catch all those chords around the first time, that's fine, because we're going to put them on the screen with the lyrics. Okay, this is what I call like a big turnaround song. It's not like a pop song with one short chord progression that continues and continues and then changes with the chorus. This is it. It's just one big compression that goes around and around with some slight changes. So the first phrase is going to be, our strum pattern is going to be a down, up, mute, down, up, mute. I think it's a great strum pattern for jazz. With some shuffle, alright? If you have some trouble with muting, here's a link to help you rock and roll with some mutage as well. Okay? Alright. So it's going to work like this. Down, up, mute, down, up, mute. 2 times on the A minor, down, up, mute, 2 times on the D minor 7, 2 times on the G7. When I say 2 times, I mean 2 mutes. 1 on the C major 7, 1 on the C7. So that's the Fly me to the moon, let me play amongst the stars. Alright? Which would be the first of 4 lines. It's like a big 16-bar turnaround. After that, you're going to go F major 7 for 2, D minor 7 for 2, E7 for 2, and then A minor 7 for 1, A7 for 1. And that's the part that goes, let me see what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars. Alright? This part I have a little trouble singing. It's the part, in other words, And he's gonna go D minor 7 for 3 beats. 1, 2, 3, G7 for 1, to E minor 7 for 2, A minor 7 for 2. So that's the, in other words, hold my hand. And then the last one's D7 again for 2, G7 for 2, C7 for 2, B minor 7, E7. So that's a turnaround. And that's okay, and that particular one is the, in other words, baby kiss me. Alright, so let's go ahead and play through that verse, and I am going to go ahead and sing it and play it, and this will be our play along because that's essentially the entire song. After we finish this, I'm going to show you one little change that happens in the later verses, okay? So, fly me to the moon, let me play amongst the stars, let me see what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars. In other words, hold my hand. In other words, baby kiss me. There goes the next one. Fill my heart with song, let me sing forevermore. You are all I long for, all I worship and adore. In other words, this is the change. Please be true. In other words, I love you. Okay, so in verse 2, there's 2 changes. If you go through the line 3, in other words, you're going to do D minor 7 2 times, E flat diminished 2 times, E minor 7, A7. So you can see that the change there is you don't do the D minor 7 to the G7, you go E flat diminished, and then instead of going A minor 7, A7, it's just E7. Alright, and the other change happens at the end. It goes D minor 7, the same, G7, the same, C major 7, the same, but instead of going D minor 7, E7, you are just going to stay on E7 for 2 beats. And the rest of the verses actually function the same as the second verse. Let's go ahead and play the second verse together. Let's run through it. Fill my heart with song, let me sing forevermore. You are all I long for, all I worship and adore. In other words, please be true. In other words, I love you. And then it goes to the big instrumental, which is just the same progression. This is the jazz standard in A minor. You could just rip it apart in A minor 7. In fact, if you want it, let us know and we will build a backing track and we will even show you exactly how to jam on this one, alright? If you want that, leave the comment below, let us know, and also just know, also in the links, I'm going to put a link to the A minor pentatonic scale because A minor pentatonic scale will work great over all of this. There's some color tones in there, but the pentatonic is a great way for you to start building some melody. Alright, Tenthumbspro.com, thumbs up if it helped you, and until next time, keep doing you, we'll keep doing us, Tenthumbspro.com. In other words, we just taught you this awesome song, and I'm happy that we could do it, alright? Frankie, old Blue Eyes, breaking it down for the Rat Pack out in New York, when they used to talk like this. That song was from a time when people talk like this, hey now. Okay, I'm happy that we can bring it to you. Patreon.com. $1 a month, as little as $1 a month. Get involved, help us grow. We just give back to you. Pretty cool stuff. Skype lessons. If you want to be a better player, contact us. We'll get one-on-one. And until next time, just keep on playing ukulele and flying to the moon. All right, take care of yourselves. Dollar James signing out. Peace.